Hi everybody, today is August the 26th, 2019. It is also day number 8 of my 90-day water-only revival health, and I'm excited. It has been I can say that it's been very pleasant. No serious issues, but then again, I don't have any serious issues anyway. Before even starting this journey, I was a vegan, so that was a plus because it taught me how to eat properly. So my body was prepared really beforehand. Plus, before I started, if you see me looking down, I'm looking at a book that I'm going to show you in a minute. Plus, before I started on this 90-day water only revival healing, I prepared my body for it. It wasn't like I just one day I'm shoving food all in my mouth because I know I'm finna fast with water only. No, I prepared myself a week in advance for this. And so I would slowly eat, different foods, mostly foods that were cleansing. So in particular, a lot of green vegetables, like I love mixing greens. So I would eat a mixture of collards, mustards, spinach, kale, and dandelion. I would mix them all together and cook them. And I would on a low heat and and then eat them throughout the week. So that's going to help pull a lot of stuff that is in the intestines out. And then I would do my curries. Of course, I love curries, curry vegetables and things like that. I try to stay away from too many whites. In particular, for me, it would just be rice. So I just began to cut back on that as well because I didn't want to build up. And then I don't drink any milk, so I would do almond milk, but I wouldn't even consume that because I also didn't want that to be in my system as well. And that worked out fine. So that's what I was doing. I prepared my body for the fast. I just didn't jump into it. I've been doing this over a period of 20 years, and it is a blessing for me to be able to do it. The longest I've ever done was 86 days, which was last year. So that was a wonderful thing for me. Like I said in the previous video, I didn't do it back to back, but I did 40 one day, one time, and then the next time, which was perhaps 2 months later, I did an additional 46 days. So a total of 86 days of fasting of last year I did. This is my first time doing it straight through, and I'm excited about it. I'm looking forward to it. What has helped me over the years stay focused on fasting and not have to deal with all of the issues that most people deal with is this book here. And as you can see, it's titled The Encyclopedia to Fasting by Reverend Frank Hall. And this book, let me give you a good, So this book here will teach you the proper way to fast. And as I stated before, fasting is abstaining from food, whether it be liquid form or solid. That's what true fasting is. I know a lot of ministries or what have you, or people believe that they're fasting because they're not eating this food or that food. That's not a fast. That's a diet change. So that be clear. Even those who claim to do a Daniel fast, there's no such thing. Daniel had a diet, and that's what he did. He was consuming food. That was not a fast. A fast is abstaining from food. Let's get that clear and make that duly noted. Also, one of the other books that there by Dr. Reverend Hall is another book that I use. And if you can see right here, the book is so worn out. Like I said, it's 20 years. And this one is, let me put it back together. As you can see, The Fasting Prayer. And these are excellent books to get if you really want to know about fasting. Here's the other one. It's called Glorified Fasting. And as you can see, they're pretty old books. But Reverend Hall, he wrote these books back in the early 1900s. And it was during that particular time, a lot of physicians, when people would come to them with different ailments and things like that, they would prescribe to them a water-only fast because of the power that it unleashes within the body to bring about health. And that's what it was about. And some people, their health just sprung forth dramatically. Some would do it for a short period and then come back on. One gentleman comes to my mind in reading these. One of the books was 80, I think he was about 83 or somewhere up in there, year-old man. But he fasted he was in his 70s. And he fasted for a total of 80 days. And upon completion of his fasting, his gray hair started back turning black. So it's just many other things in there. For me, this go around is for total health. In 2011, I had some issues with my pancreas, and every now and again I would get that pain in there. And I study alternative medicine, and also have decades of working in regular medicine. And so this pain over the years, it would subside and it would go. And so finally I said, you know what, this time you're going to completely go. And I can tell you all, just for day number 8, the pain that would come and go depending on what I would be doing has totally gone. It's no longer there. But let me tell you about these first 8 days. On day number 1, I had a slight headache that lasted for about 13 hours, somewhere up in there. And it wasn't something drastic. It was just a mild headache. And on day number 2, it was completely gone. But on day number 2, the next things, and these are symptoms that you have when your body is being detoxified. And so on day number 2, what I began to experience was, how can I explain it? Well, it was like a burning in my bones. I could feel it. It was like burning in my bones. And I know that that's, cleansing even to the bone marrow being cleansed. And I was like, okay, that's fine. And it wasn't nothing that I couldn't tolerate, but it was something that happened. And that lasted, like I say, just for maybe about 6 hours. Day number 3 to come. And on day number 3, I was having restless leg syndrome extremely bad. It was just like, I've never experienced it like that. And I'm like, oh my gosh, what in the world is going on? Why is my, legs going through this and so bad? So one of the things I know dealing in alternative medicine, that the human body can get full of energy. It already has its energy packed within it, which is your nervous system. So that's all electrical, and we use all of these cell phones, telephones, cars, that also are full of all this electronic. We're always around electronic things. Well, all of those rays build up within your system, in your body. And when there's too much of that energy in your body, you have all of these different quirks and things that's going on. And that's the body's way of telling you, you need to get rid of it. And so what I did was just went out on the front porch, which is made of concrete. And I stood out there, I sat in a chair out there with my shoes off for about 30 minutes, so that the ground, or you can walk on grass, whichever one works for you, but it will pull that excess energy out of your body. They call it grounding. Look it up. It's a beautiful thing and wonderful for your body. So that's what I did with that, and I didn't have any problems after that. So day number 4, I didn't have any problems. Day number 5, again, I had a slight headache for maybe about an hour, and that was fine. So day number 6, 7, I didn't have any issues. Everything was just fine. So everything is going accordingly. To all of those who are concerned, don't worry. I know my body very well. I've been in the medical field for a very long time, and also, like I said, medicine is my background. And I have a host of friends that are doctors and nurses as well. So I'm good. I know how to take care of myself, my body, very well. And it's amazing. Even sometimes, like a couple years ago, when I did get sick, I was at a friend's house, and me and her was talking, and whatever was in the atmosphere, they had just sprayed in that area for mosquitoes. But anyway, she had I was standing right in front of the air duct that she had the central air unit on, the CA. And I went to inhale, and I felt something come through my nostrils, and it hit my throat. And immediately I told her, I said, I have a virus. I felt it, airborne. And so I went to the doctor, and to tell the doctor, I said, my throat is bothering me really bad. And I could feel, see, viruses are alive. When they tell you, when your children or you are being immunized, those viruses are live. And if you're sensitive, or if your body is clean enough, like mine, you can literally feel those viruses crawling through your body. And so when I went to the doctor, and was telling her, my throat, was all sore and hurting really bad. And, I needed something for it. And she said, well, let's find out, what it is, if it's bacterial or if it's virus. And I looked at her, I said, this is a virus. She said, how do you know? I said, because I can feel it going from my throat up into kind of like the tonsil areas, and then back down. So it was traveling back and forth. I said, that's how I know it's a virus. It moves. And she was like, well, I need to do what I have to do to tell you whether or not. I said, okay, that's fine. But I'm telling you, this is a virus. And so she went and she did the swab and did a petri, she put the thing in the petri dish, and about 20 minutes later she come back. She said, yeah, it's a virus. I said, yeah, I told you that. I know. There are some people who know their bodies very well, and I'm one of them. And that's something that I have set out to do, was to know myself, not only mentally and physically, but internally, so that I'll know which organ is affected, what is this. And that's why even today I spend time helping others, learn about their body. So I want to thank everybody who is listening to these videos. I'll be posting them like every 4 days to give you updates of what's going on. Oh, by the way, let me say this. Like I said, I started out at 238, and now I'm down to 224. So I've lost a total of 14 pounds within 8 days. That's not the purpose of this water cleansing. But it is a part of the package, and I'm grateful for it. My is just a part of it, and I know there'll be more weight that she'll come off, and when I get back to my normal or natural weight size, I'll be happy that much more. Been carrying this weight on a little bit too long, even though I don't look like it, but it was there. So those of you who have any questions and want to know anything further about fasting and water fasting, there are several friends of mine right now who are also on water fast. One of them just completed a 3-day, water fast, and she's amazing. She was having IBS and so on and so forth, other issues there, and she didn't have any of those problems to affect her, none whatsoever on it. And even now she's like, I just feel so energized, I feel much better. So even if you do a 3-day water fast for cleansing for your health, you'll be amazed at how much the body can rejuvenate itself and bring back that healing that's desired. All right, y'all, this one has moved up this video to 16 minutes past what I wanted. So until then, 4 days later, y'all stay blessed, and we'll talk. Bye.